Hello and welcome to Movies and That. I am new to YouTube and I am a movie enthusiast. I'm a huge geek, as you can probably tell from my wall of geeketry behind me. I wanted to start a YouTube channel so I can talk and bullshit and rant and rave about movies because I love movies. I go to school for movies. I'm here in the middle of Pittsburgh going to film school. For my first video, I wanted to show you guys some of my favorite movies that are underrated. I think these movies are extremely underrated. They're not really well known. They're not my, I'm going to do other videos with, my top 5 2014, my top 20 of all time. These aren't necessarily included in my top 20 of all time, but they're still really great movies. The first one here is a movie called 2 Days. It stars Paul Rudd, Donald Logue, Adam Scott, a lot of funny guys in this movie, but it's a dark comedy about a struggling actor in Los Angeles in his 30s whose career kind of peaked and then it kind of faded out, and he hires a documentary film crew to document the last 2 days of his life before he kills himself. So yeah, great movie here, great performances by everybody. Joshua Leonard, and he's in here. He was from the Blair Witch Project. He has a really funny role in this movie. I think he's a great actor. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but obviously Paul Rudd's great, Donald Logue, Adam Scott, great performances. A really interesting, good little movie to, pop in when you're bored, you got nothing to do, rainy day, something like that. But definitely track it down, pick it up, give it a watch. My next one is a movie that, just a powerful film. It's called 0 Day. And it's about these two kids. They document an entire year of their lives before they go into their school and shoot it up. It's a school shooting movie, and this is absolutely a fantastic movie that dives into the psyche of the school shooter and what motivates them and what drives them and why they're doing what they're doing. And it's not all, the reasons aren't always like, oh, you know what, we're bullied, so fuck you, we're gonna come shoot the school up. But that's not always the reason. There's a lot more. I think there are a lot more to some of these kids that do what they do, and this movie really dives into that hardcore. And it was just a brilliantly made movie. When I watched it, I'm like, holy shit, like who made this movie? Like, this is a great movie. And this was the first film by Ben Cocchio or something. And he actually wrote A Place Beyond the Pines with Ryan Reynolds and Bradley Cooper. And when I found that out, I was like, well, this doesn't surprise me, because this is a fucking awesome movie. So definitely, this is very hard to find. I don't think they sell it in the Blu-ray format. It's just DVD. Track it down, give it a watch. I believe it's on YouTube. The whole entire movie is on YouTube. Just type in 0 Day movie. It'll come right up. But yeah, I came across this movie one day over the summer, watched it, just blew me away. It's crazy. So, next up, Suicide Kings. This isn't only recommended by me, but it's recommended by Quentin Tarantino. I think he has a box set of all his movies, and he threw this in there because it's one of his favorite movies the past 10 years. This is fantastic. Fantastic cast. I mean, Christopher Walken, Dennis Leary, Sean Patrick Flannery, Jay Moore, hilarious, Johnny Galecki from Big Bang Theory. I mean, this movie's about a group of college kids whose one of them, their sister gets kidnapped, and they have to come up with this ransom money in order to get her back. So they decide to kidnap this mobster and hold him for ransom and take that money to get her back, and it's all these crazy twists and turns and betrayal and who's really, pulling the strings here in this movie. It's a really good thriller. I mean, Christopher Walken, man, he has so many good one-liners in this movie. I mean, a cop could ruin a wet dream. Yeah, just definitely watch this. This was directed by I think it was Robert Englund, who plays Freddy Krueger. I think we all know that, but I think it was directed by his agent or publicist, something like that. But this is awesome. Such a movie. You just don't know where it's going to go the whole time you're watching it. The next movie is, I might get some hate for this, but I don't really care. Willow Creek, horror movie by Bobcat Goldthwait. He directed World's Greatest Dad. He directed God Bless America. Yeah. This movie about a Bigfoot nerd and his girlfriend. He's also like a filmmaker, and they go to like Bigfoot country, and they go to this little town that's like known for Bigfoot sightings, and it's where the original Patterson-Gimlin footage was filmed. And they're in this town making this documentary about Bigfoot, and they want to retrace the Patterson-Gimlin steps and go to Willow Creek and everything like that. And spoiler alert, You don't see the monster in this movie, but that still doesn't make it a good fucking movie. Sometimes with horror movies, if there's a monster lingering around somewhere and you don't get to see it, sometimes that can ruin a movie. It's ruined a movie. It's ruined movies for people, for me. But that's not the case with this movie. This movie is amazing, and if you're a huge fan of Bigfoot, like my dad and I are, this is a great, like, lot of cool Bigfoot trivia in this movie. Like when they go to this town that actually exists, they go and they eat a Bigfoot burger at a restaurant that actually exists that sells Bigfoot burgers. I mean, it's great. It's a Bigfoot nerd's dream. And as a fan of Bigfoot, I really, really love this movie. I'm also a fan of Bobcat Goldthwait, so Willow Creek, definitely watch this. And then last is a movie. I watch a lot of the YouTubers who are also movie enthusiasts, Blu-ray collectors, and Flick Pick Wasting Money 1 and the Crazy Jason. And I watched a video recently with the Crazy Jason where he did a Blu-ray pickup, and he picked up a movie called The Ninth Configuration. And what he said about this movie really intrigued me. This is not an easy movie to find, and if you find it at a store, it's not going to be at an FYE or a Walmart. It's going to be somewhere else, and it's probably going to be really expensive because this was almost $30, and that's insane. But anyway, this is William Peter Blatty wrote and directed this. He wrote The Exorcist and everything like that, and it says Stacy Keach in it, and it has Scott Wilson, who you probably don't know him by his name, but this is a movie made in 1979, 1980. Scott Wilson is Herschel from The Walking Dead, and he gives an almost Oscar-worthy performance in this movie. Fantastic. And it's a movie that just brings up a lot of questions, a lot of metaphysical questions, questions about spirituality, religion, would a man really self-sacrifice himself for the greater good, for the betterment of somebody else? What's a world of insanity in a world gone mad? What's insanity in a world gone mad? Just great, smart movie. This isn't a beer drinking movie or one of those movies. This is a movie that you kind of want to sit down, watch, pay attention to, although you will enjoy it, you will watch it over again. It's about, Stacy Keach's character plays this psychiatrist who comes to, the Department of Defense has set up these institutions all over the world, and it's like towards the end of the Vietnam War, and all these institutions contain soldiers and ex-soldiers and stuff like that that are like mental patients, and Stacy Keach's character is sent there to kind of figure out like what's going on in their heads and to figure out if they're really crazy or not, and if they're just pretending to be crazy to just dodge going back to Vietnam and stuff like that. And it's really good. And he develops this relationship with Scott Wilson's character, who's an ex-astronaut, and he kind of freaked out right before liftoff, and he ended up in this institution. And it kind of focuses around him and Scott Wilson's character. But it's really, really an interesting, different movie. And William Peter Blatty, man, hat is off to this guy, because this is really something. If you see it, I recommend a blind buy for this movie. But hopefully you enjoy what I had to say. If you haven't seen these movies, watch them. If you do watch them, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of them. If you've seen them, let me know what you thought of them. Please subscribe to my channel. But we'll see you next time for another Movies and That discussion,